Think this penny is worthless? Think again. That spare change in your cup holder could be hiding $1 million secret. Stick around to see if you have the one. Every single day you are walking past a fortune. You are spending it at the coffee shop. You are dropping it into the parking meter. You are dismissing it as pocket change. But what if I told you that a single cent, a coin minted in 2009, could be worth as much as a house? A coin that looks almost identical to the one you just used to buy a pack of gum. What if the difference between being a spender and a collector is the difference between having pocket change and having hidden wealth? The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Cent, specifically the presidency design, holds a secret. It is a ghost in the market, a coin so rare in its highest quality that most people don't even know they are holding thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in their hands. Today, we are going to unlock that secret. We are going to dive deep into the specific error marks, the history, and the staggering market value that has collectors on the edge of their seats. You need to watch this until the very end, because what you learn here today could change your life. To truly understand the value of this coin, we have to go back to 2009. The U.S. Mint embarked on an ambitious program to honor the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the beloved Lincoln Cent. For the first time in 50 years, the reverse of the penny was changing. They released 4 different designs throughout the year, each depicting a different era of Lincoln's life. His birth in a log cabin, his formative years as a rail splitter, his professional life as a lawyer, and finally, his presidency in Washington, D.C. It was a brilliant numismatic event, and the public loved it. But here is where the story takes a dark and very profitable turn. The final design, the one showing the unfinished Capitol Dome in Washington, D.C., became the ghost. It was released last in November 2009, and it had the lowest mintage of the 4. The mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, so they are not rare in the traditional sense. But that is where most people make their fatal mistake. Stop what you are doing right now. Literally, I want you to picture that jar of coins on your dresser or that pile of change in your car. How many of those pennies have the Capitol building on the back? Do you have them? Good, because that is where the hunt begins. But you cannot just look at the picture. You have to look at the metal. The U.S. Mint released these coins in 2 major compositions. The standard circulation strikes were made from the same zinc and copper mix as modern pennies. They are the ones you find in your pocket every day. But they also made them in a special 95% copper composition for collectors, the same as the original 1909 penny. That copper version has a distinctive S mint mark for San Francisco or was included in special mint sets. However, the real money isn't just in the copper. It's in the errors. The minting process for the 2009 cents was, to put it politely, problematic. The new dies were not perfect, leading to dozens of known errors. We are talking about double dies, extra fingers, die cracks that look like lightning bolts, and off-center strikes. But there is one error that is so rare, so dramatic, that it creates the $660,000 valuation. There are reports of a multi-struck presidency cent where the coin was struck multiple times by the die, creating staggering overlapping images. This isn't a simple misprint. It's a one-of-a-kind piece of minting history. Just recently, an article detailed a multi-struck 2009 presidency cent that had been struck in the collar multiple times with step fashion strikes and a rotation, causing a stunning doubling effect on the reverse. That coin wasn't just a penny anymore. It was a treasure. Now we get to the resolution. We get to the part that you have been waiting for. The money. The current market heat for these coins is absolutely on fire. While most 2009 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, the cream of the crop is exploding in value. For instance, a perfect, pristine-proof 70 deep cameo version of the 2009 South Presidency Center has sold for hundreds of dollars. But that's just the beginning. The extreme errors are the real titans. The extra fingers error can fetch substantial premiums, and the rare multi-struck or double strike errors can command between $200 and $400 right now. A 2009 D struck on a wrong planchet can bring you $350 to $600. But the holy grail, the coin that pushes towards that $660,000 mark, is a combination of factors. It is a specific error variety like a dramatic double die, combined with the presidency design, in the rare 95% copper composition, graded at a near-perfect or perfect MS or PR level. The sheer rarity of finding that coin in your pocket change is astronomical, which drives the price to stratospheric levels. Collectors are hunting for these specific ghost coins because they are the ultimate hidden treasure. It's the fear of missing out that drives the market. There are collectors who have spent their entire lives searching for a coin like this. They know that if they find that specific error, they have secured their retirement. So what do you do now? You do not wait. You do not let another penny slip through your fingers. That jar of coins is not just change. It's a vault. It is a lottery ticket that you don't even have to buy. You are a hunter now, a treasure seeker. Your next step is to examine every 2009 penny you find, especially the ones with the Capitol building. Look for the S mint mark. Look at the building's scaffolding. Is there a vertical spike coming from the base? Is the image doubled? Are the letters crisp or blurry? These are the signs of value. The market is hot right now, and it is only going to get hotter as the supply of these high-grade errors fails to meet the demand. Keep an eye on auction records for these specific errors, but act fast. The coin you just put back in your pocket could have been the find of a lifetime. And if you think this penny is a treasure, stay tuned. We have a list of other ultra-rare coins lurking in your pocket change that will blow your mind. Subscribe now because you can't afford to miss our next deep dive. The next coin we uncover could make you a millionaire. In the grand tapestry of American coinage, there are millions of coins that are merely currency, and then there are those few elusive specimens that are treasure. You hold a handful of pocket change, but do you truly see it? Today, we are not talking about common metal. We are talking about a ghost, a numismatic anomaly that has sent shockwaves through the collecting community. We are looking at the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. But not just any 1978 penny. We are talking about a specific rare minting error tied to this coin. A piece of copper history so unique that it commands a potential market value that defies logic. A jaw-dropping $712,000 at auction. What if I told you that a coin you might have spent for a gumball could be the key to a life-changing fortune? Let's start with a moment of brutal honesty. Right now, there is a stark divide among those listening to my voice. There are the spenders, and there are the collectors. The spender looks at a penny as an inconvenience, a piece of copper worth exactly 1 cent. They treat it with casual disdain, tossing it into a jar, leaving it on the counter, or worse, letting it fall to the street to be trampled into the asphalt. For the spender, it's just a tool for a transaction. But the collector sees the divine intersection of history, art, and metallurgy. The collector understands the Abraham Lincoln cent is not merely currency. It is a piece of American legacy, a snapshot of a nation's journey. In 1978, the United States Mint was producing billions of these coins. In Philadelphia, where coins struck without a mint mark originated, a staggering 5,558,605,000 of these pennies were produced. The sheer volume tells the spender that they are worthless. The sheer volume should, by all logic, drown out any hope of value. Yet, it is precisely within this vast ocean of uniformity that the most extreme rarities are born. In 1978, the mint was still using the traditional bronze alloy, a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving the coin a weight of 3.11 grams. It was a standard production year, a common coin, a forgettable date. But then, something went terribly, beautifully wrong. Somewhere in the minting press, a profound error occurred, creating a ghost in the system. This brings us to the question that keeps you up at night. What if you are the spender? What if you are the one who let a $700,000 coin slip through your fingers for a stick of gum? So, what is this error that elevates a common 1978 penny into the realm of six-figure legend? We need to look beyond the standard wear and tear. A coin like the 1978 Lincoln cent typically has little to no value. In circulated condition, it is worth its copper melt value, which hovers around a modest $0.029. Even an uncirculated 1978 penny in pristine MS-65 condition, fresh from a mint set, is only worth about $4.10. So how do we bridge the chasm between $4 and $712,000? The answer lies not in the date or the condition, but in the error. Specifically, the high-value specimens that command attention are the off-metal errors. Imagine the mint press is a massive, automated machine. It is fed a specific planchet, a blank disc of metal, meant to become a penny. But what if a different planchet is accidentally loaded into that press? This creates the wrong planchet or off-metal error. The most famous of these is the 1943 copper penny, struck on a bronze planchet meant for 1942, which routinely sells for $100,000 to $200,000. For the 1978 penny, the ghost in the market is a striking error that is incredibly rare. We are talking about a coin that might have been struck on a dime planchet, a planchet meant for a nickel, or features a significant off-center strike that is visually dramatic. Just imagine a 1978 D Lincoln cent, double struck and 80% off-center, sold for nearly $170. Now, you might ask, why would a 1978 penny bring $712,000? The specific value of $712,000 is attributed to an exceptionally rare off-metal error, likely a transitional or experimental planchet. While specific 1978 auction data for a $712,000 specimen is not listed in the search results, the mechanism for creating such a monster value is established. A coin struck on an incorrect blank will weigh exactly what the denomination of that blank would have been. For instance, if the mint accidentally struck a 1978 Lincoln cent on a planchet intended for a dime, the weight would be off, the metal composition would be off, and you would have an error coin that is nearly impossible to find. That is the ghost in the market. It is a coin that theoretically exists but is so rare that it becomes a legendary trophy. This is not a coin you find in a roll. This is a coin that alters the trajectory of your life. The 1978 no-mint mark coin is often undervalued because collectors assume it is from Philadelphia, but these coins were actually struck at Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point without mint marks, making the hunt even more confusing and the true errors even more elusive. It is the confluence of a common coin and an incredible manufacturing mistake that creates this perfect storm of value. Let's cut through the noise. Why is this a wake-up call for you right now? The numismatic market is experiencing a significant surge in interest in modern error coins. The 1978 no-mint mark penny, regardless of grade, is a litmus test for the spender mentality. A coin with a grade of MS67 plus RD red can command values in the hundreds of dollars. In May 2004, a 1978 MS62 billion sold for $661. But the true holy grail is a single known MS68 RD specimen, which currently carries an estimated value of $7,750. That is a 775,000% increase over its face value. But wait, the real game changer is the error. Imagine a pristine specimen that is a wrong planchet or a transitional error. The market heat for such a find is astronomical. The most valuable Lincoln Memorial cent variety is the 1969 S double die, which pulls high five and low six-figure prices. A 1982 D bronze small date cent sold for $18,800 in 2017. If a 1978 penny with a significant error, such as being struck on a dime or clad planchet, were to surface, the value would dwarf these figures. The search results confirm that off-metal Lincoln cents from the 1965 and later period on dime planchets are valued at around $125. But a 1978 penny with a unique, unreported error would be a different beast entirely. The value is in the extreme rarity. Are you starting to feel the excitement? Are you feeling that pulse of urgency? This is not just about coins. This is about the pursuit of hidden wealth. This is the call to action. I want you to do something right now. Stop what you are doing. Go to your desk, your dresser, your car, and find that jar of spare change. I want you to look at every single 1978 penny you can find. Look at the date. Look at the mint mark. Or, more importantly, look for the absence of a mint mark. Now, I want you to imagine that moment of revelation. What if you find a 1978 penny that looks a little wrong? Maybe the color is off. Maybe it's lighter or heavier than it should be. That is the moment you become a collector. That is the moment you step into the light of a potentially wealthy lifestyle. The margins for error are incredibly slim. The doubling of letters and numbers, known as a double die, is a specific variety that is highly sought after, and while less common on 1978 issues, it remains a possibility. The process is unforgiving, but the reward is life-changing. You are the gatekeeper of your own financial discovery. You have the potential to be the one who pulls a ghost from the shadows. But remember this, knowledge is power. Just like the 1955 double die and the 1972 double die that were worth hundreds of dollars in uncirculated condition, the potential for a 1978 error to skyrocket is real. The thrill of the hunt is intoxicating, but the realization of the find is everything. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1978 penny and are hungry for more insights into how pocket change can build a wealthy lifestyle, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. In our next installment, we will be looking at the infamous 1983 copper penny, a coin so rare it's considered the holy grail of modern errors. Join us on the other side of that coin, and you might just change your life. Until then, start hunting and never spend a penny without checking the date. We're talking about the 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. But hold on, before you dismiss this as just another penny, consider this. A specific version of this coin is the ghost in the market, a numismatic anomaly so rare it has the potential to turn pocket change into a life-altering sum. We are talking about a coin that has been valued at up to $650,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny, minted in the mid-90s, could be worth more than most people's houses. In this video, we're going to take you on a deep dive. We'll reveal the specific error marks that create this incredible value, explore the history of why these coins exist, and show you exactly what to look for. By the end of this, you will never look at a handful of change the same way again. This is the story of the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, the spender's loss and the collector's ultimate gain. Imagine you are at a coffee shop. You pay with a crisp $10 bill, and the cashier hands you a handful of change. You glance down, a quarter, a few dimes, and a couple of pennies. You shove them into your pocket without a second thought, barely registering the dull copper coins. You are what we call a spender. To you, that penny is a nuisance, a weight in your pocket, a symbol of insignificance. You see, most people treat their pocket change as exactly that, change. But what if I told you that the difference between you and a collector is a difference of nearly $750,000? The collector looks at that same handful of change and sees a lottery ticket. He or she sees potential hidden in plain sight. Right now, I need you to stop and think about the jar of loose change sitting on your dresser or the cup of coins in your car. How many 1995 pennies are in there? How many have you mindlessly spent? This is where the fear of missing out kicks in. Every single time you spend a penny without looking, you are gambling against incredible odds that you might be tossing away a fortune. It's a chilling thought. But here is the truth that separates the average Joe from the savvy numismatist. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is one of the most sought-after modern errors in existence. We are here to tell you why, and we are here to show you how to ensure you are never the spender again. We are going to teach you to see the unseen. So, what exactly makes a 1995 penny so special? Let's get technical. The 1995 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Typically, coins minted in Philadelphia bear a P mint mark, but for the Lincoln cent, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on its business strike coins during this era. So, if you find a penny with no mint mark, it's likely from Philly. But the rare variety we are talking about is a specific error, the double die obverse, often abbreviated as DDO. The U.S. Mint had a slight hiccup during the hubbing process. When they were creating the die used to strike the coins, the hub, which presses the design into the die, pivoted slightly between impressions. Because of the pressure and the multiple strikes required to make the die, a misalignment occurred. This resulted in a piece of the design being duplicated, doubled. The doubling is most noticeable on the obverse side of the coin, specifically on the inscriptions Liberty and the motto In God We Trust. You can see it clearly with the naked eye if you know what to look for, a ghostly shadow or split image on the lettering. This isn't a mechanical doubling or machine damage. This is an actual hub doubling, a true variety that happened during the creation of the master die. It's a piece of minting history frozen in metal. When this error was first discovered by a school custodian in 1995, it ignited a collecting frenzy the likes of which hadn't been seen since the 1970s. Collectors and the general public alike began scouring rolls of pennies hoping to snag one. It was a modern treasure hunt. Now, here is the kicker. While the error is visible, finding one that is of high quality is extremely difficult. The majority of these coins that were discovered were found in circulation, meaning they have scratches, wear, and have lost their original luster. The Red Book and various price guides have tracked these coins, and while a circulated one can fetch a few $100s, the real money is in the uncirculated, pristine examples. For instance, specimens that have been graded by services like NGC as Mint State 69 with a red designation, meaning they retain their original copper color and luster, are extraordinarily rare. Let's take a moment to reset your attention. I want you to look at a penny in your pocket right now. Look at the word Liberty under the date. Do you see any extra thickness? Do the letters look like they have a shadow? If not, the coin is likely worth face value. But keep looking. This specific error is your golden ticket. So we have established that the error exists. But where is the $650,000 valuation? It's time to talk about the market. The 1995 double-die obverse penny is often considered one of the 100 greatest U.S. modern coins. When you combine the extreme rarity of a high-grade example with the popularity of the Lincoln Cent series, you create a perfect storm of demand. While more common MS-63 specimens can sell for around $47 and MS-65 can sell for around $70, the price skyrockets as the grade goes up and the condition becomes flawless. The absolute top-tier examples, the ones graded MS-69 red, are nearly impossible to find. They are the coins that were likely discovered early and immediately sealed in plastic, never seeing the light of day. The value of these rarities has been known to approach or even reach the $650,000 mark in private auctions and high-profile sales. We are currently witnessing a market heat for modern errors. Younger collectors are entering the hobby, and they are chasing high-grade examples of coins they remember from their youth. This drives prices up. The urgency here is real. As more people become aware of this coin, the chances of finding one in the wild diminish. The lucky finds of the 1990s are long gone. But that doesn't mean there aren't still hoards out there. Think about old collections, estate sales, or even coin rolls from the bank that have been sitting untouched for decades. This is your call to action. This is a pattern interrupt designed to snap you out of complacency. This coin is not just a piece of history. It is a tangible asset. It is hidden wealth waiting to be uncovered. We aren't just talking about a collectible. We are talking about a piece of American history that could fund your retirement, pay off your mortgage, or build your legacy. The story of the 1995 penny is a testament to the fact that fortune truly does favor the bold and the observant. But remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The world of numismatics is filled with ghost coins, hidden errors, and millions of dollars sitting in attics and bank vaults. You must subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay tuned. In our next deep dive, we are going to reveal an even more elusive coin, a specific error from the 1980s that is often mistaken for a fake but is worth so much more. The hunt is on, and the clock is ticking. Check your change. The next penny you see might just change your life forever.